So I'm a very reminiscent person. Like I love just going back, reminiscing, just going back in my head on things. So I do it a lot. I do it quite often, sometimes more deeper than others. So today I'm just going to pretty much just be reminiscing on camera instead of in my own space. So usually when I reminisce, I won't say usually when usually I'm reminiscing about just different times, old things, stuff like that. So this time that I'm reminiscing, it just happens to be about my dreadlocks. Kind of not. It's not specifically about my dreadlocks. Kind of just I was thinking back on some things, and my dreadlocks just I just thought about it just played a part into it. Um, so I was just thinking about I was just looking at my hair, and I was like, yo, you ever just look at your hair and be like, yo, man, it's amazing. Wow, how my hair has transformed and how much has grown. Like sometimes, a lot of times, I don't realize it, and then someone will tell me, "Yo, man, your hair has grown," and I. So then that will cause me to go back and look at like old pictures and whatnot, and um, so then I'm looking at these old pictures, and then that also causes me to think about the time that I was in, like what I was doing at that time, or how I was as a person at that time, just maybe the way things were going at that time, whether it's good or bad, whatever. It just causes me to look at that, and just through my hair causes me to go down this timeline of events of the past few years or so. So as I'm looking at old pictures, or I'm thinking about, or sometimes I may just be drying my hair or something, and I'm looking in the mirror and I'm just like, yo, I remember when I only had this much hair, and I was just thinking about starting my freeform locks. And so it gets me to back when I first started. A lot of people, like, I've said how I started, but I don't think I've ever told a story of like what went on at that time to not really make me start it, but it's just that I just picked that time in life to start. Um, I got into a wreck in 2013, very bad wreck. I almost lost my life, and so during that time, I had this iron thing on my leg, like with four pins screwed in my leg. I had four pins. No, I had four pins in all. There was two screwed in my thigh bone and two screwed in my shin bone, literally screwed in. And so I only could lay on my back because I had to keep my leg elevated. So that caused me to during that time I was just like, you know what? I said I didn't. I don't even know if it was like a thing that I said, like I'm saying it now. It was just more. I just did it. It just happened. I just did it. Like obviously I made some kind of a thought of, hey, I'm just gonna let my hair grow, but mostly it was just I just stopped combing it. Really, just that's just how it happened. I just stopped combing it during that time, and so I was on bed rest for a while because this iron fixation was on my leg, and so I just said, hey, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna stop combing my hair. Just stopped. So I think that's a lot of, so even when it was off, when they took it off, I just always still laid on my back. I just had got comfortable laying on my back because it was just a better way for me to elevate my leg, and so I just got comfortable with that. So if you go to my if you're on my IG, I think probably the first or second picture I posted, maybe I think it was one of the two. I'm not sure. I go back and look. One of those pictures, I'm gonna look now. Is like when my locks were my locks were just forming, and you can see that I was always laying on my back, so you can see that my hair was was starting to flatten out at the back. One, two, three. It was my third picture actually. I don't know if you can be able to see that. Yeah. So this is just for me. Like, so this is the lock in the back, and this is how it started off. It started off like this, and it's because I was laying on my back all the time from the accident. And by that time, right here, I like I was recovering from the accident, but I was just still, I was still, it was, my hair was already pretty much matted from me laying on it for a few months. Not straight, but for a few months. So I was reminiscing about that, and so I just be like, yo, that's what my hair was at that point in time, and that's what was going on. I was recovering from the wreck, and so my hair just brings me back. So I just be looking at certain locks, and it's just good to I don't know, I guess admire your hair every once in a while. I don't know if you want to call this admiring it, or just real just remembering things. But I remember this lock right here. This lock right here was actually thinning out in the middle, and it used to be up here. It used to be, yeah. It was around here somewhere, around this area, and it was thinning out. And I remember I put castor oil on it, in the middle of it where it was thinning out at, and it became one of my thicker locks. So if I had like separated locks, this would be a pretty thick one. So that became one of my thicker locks, and it ended up flourishing. But it just, it just got caught up in the new growth and engulfed in the big three, one of the big three, and this lock here. Let me see if I can find it also in this picture. I don't think you can. I don't think I'll be able to find it in this picture, but um, actually, you can see it in this one. Maybe you can see it in this one. That little lock that's sticking up right there. And this is an old phone, and that I just got it going through. Got was going through it, and you can actually see the lock that's sticking up right there is actually this one, and it also got engulfed in one of the bigger locks, and now it's like way down here, like because it just got pretty much carried away in like a, and like it's like something getting carried away in a wave. You know what I mean? So, and I'm just like, yo, man, it's pretty dope how our hair does these things, and the beautiful thing about freeforming, and the most interesting thing about freeforming, is that you don't know how your hair is going to turn out. You have no idea how it's going to turn out, and something as simple as me laying on my back helped form my hair the way it is now. But if you first look at it, it's kind of like my hair doesn't it didn't look, you didn't think that it would look how it does now, because oh, this for the people. This for people who always ask me why don't I have locks on the top. Let me brighten this phone. um so if you can see this picture right here, you can actually see I had actual locks on top, but as they just started growing and matting together, they just split off into three. Like I said, me laying on my back helped it, because it helped me form this one, and then it just went off into sections, to their own sections. Now, like I was saying, the beautiful thing about freeforming, man, because you don't know how they're gonna turn out. Um, and your hair goes through so many different transformations. Um, so you don't really have to worry about length with like actually freeforming until like probably about 2 to 3 years in, because your hair is doing a lot of changing and matting together, and twisting, and like it's doing a lot of things that it's like you don't know what's gonna come of it, become of it. And I think that's that's the beauty of growing your hair this way. Like to me, that was one of the things that captured me and made me want to grow my hair this way, because I'm like, everybody's hair is different. Like, so who's to say that if I cut my hair tomorrow and start growing it back, like, you don't know how it's gonna form. And that's the craziest thing about it. To me, anyway. That's what interests me about it. And so I go into these times where I'm just reminiscing about my hair, and I'm reminiscing about, y'all, I remember when this one used to be way up here, or I remember when this one was up here, and just remembering how my hair used to be. And like, if you see this right here, these little, like, my dreadlocks have dreadlocks. You see these little things, right? These little locks here. I remember when they were actually up here on the corner. They were actually up on the corner, and um, I kind of used them as a gauge, as a growing gauge. Like, so I'll look at them every few months and be like, yo, I remember when they were up here, and I remember when they were kind of like by my ear, and like, so they're steadily just dropping down. So I kind of use that to gauge that my hair is, how it's growing. Um, I remember when this wasn't even like, I couldn't do like what I'm doing now, wrapping it around. Cause I remember I would try to do it sometimes, and I would just be gauging. I would kind of like not have the hang time to pull it around, wrap it around. It like kind of be sitting on my shoulder a little bit. But now I can just, pull it all around, pull it all the way around. And I also remember like I just showed you. I remember when it was first matting together like that. But I still had no idea like my hair would form into three dreadlocks. Still had no idea. I knew that I would probably have I would have that one in the back because it was already matted. And you can pull a piece of hair, you can pull a section of hair up when you're freeform, and then like the whole section kind of raised. So I knew it was going to be matted together, but I didn't know that it would become this one. So I don't know, man. I think that's just the beauty of it to me, man. Just being able to see your hair go through all of these different stages. Because when you twist your hair, and this is not to say that which is better than the other, and nothing like that. You pretty much know what's gonna happen. Like, your hair is pretty much, you're just waiting on length. They're gonna thicken up or whatever. They're gonna thicken up, and they may become a little frizzy and whatnot, a little puffy, I should say, as they're growing, as they're maturing. But like, for the most part, after they get to a certain, once you're about a year or two in, like, there's really not many changes that's gonna happen. You're just waiting for it to just grow, pretty much. That's it. When you're growing your hair like this, how your hair looks in year 1 to year 4 will be drastically different. And the crazy thing about it is, it happens in front of your face. It's on your actual body, but you don't even see it. You don't see it until, like, I didn't see a lot of these things until I had to go back and look at pictures. Like, again, like when I'm reminiscing, I go back and look at a picture, and I be like, yo, my hair doesn't even look the same as when it was 2 years in. Like, so you're gonna go through some drastic, beautiful changes. And that's why I try to tell people, man, like, don't worry about length. Just enjoy every stage. I can genuinely say that I enjoyed every stage of my hair, because every stage was just different. It had its own unique personality. And so I would tell people, if you're free forming, um enjoy every stage. Now, I know it's gonna be kind of hard sometimes. So it's hard for some people, man, to actually enjoy every stage, because you're under societal pressure, you're under peer pressure. And look, my family pretty much, they know to let me just, rock out and do my thing. But yeah, they had questions. Like, it just wasn't on no grilling me type stuff. They had never really seen this before. So me doing it, it was pretty new to them. So they wanted to know, like, what was I doing? So they would ask questions. Like, they're not afraid of me, but they would ask me questions. But after a while, it was just, they just got their answers to what I was doing. And a lot of people want to really a lot of people don't really appreciate your vision of your hair until um it gets longer. Like, like I tell you all the time, people love long hair. People are obsessed with long hair. So the longer your hair gets, the more people start to appreciate it, the more people start to see the beauty in it, because people see the beauty in long hair. When you're free forming, man, and your hair is going through these stages where it's sticking up and it's still matting together, and you have threads of hair, you have threads connecting hair together, and people are like, yo, like, what are you doing? Like, those times for a lot of people do get hard. Like, I get it. But you have to embrace it. Like, if you don't embrace it, then you know then it's definitely going to be easier for people to talk you out of it. It's going to be easier for people to get to you and make you feel like you're doing something wrong when you're just trying to be yourself at the moment. Whether it be for 10 years or it's for just that moment. You're just trying to be yourself. You're trying to grow your hair. That's it. So that's what I tell people. Enjoy every stage, man, because every stage has its own personality. Every stage, like, and that's the thing, like, no matter what kind of locks you have, to be honest with you, like, when you're a year in or when you're 2 years in, like, you'll have events, you'll have different events, and you can it's cool because you can gauge those events with your hair. Like, you can be like, yo, at year one of when I had locks, I was going through this, or I was doing this, I was trying to be this, I was dressing like this, all kinds of stuff, man. You can just go back and use your hair as a time gauge. So um that's what I was doing. So sometimes I just reminisce and I just be like, use my hair to go back in time a few years back and be like, that's what I was doing at this time. I was trying to get through this. This happened, so. But that's the video for today, man. Hope y'all enjoy, and I'll catch y'all on the next video.